Hello everybody, and welcome back to something new. I'm going to try and keep this as straightforward as I can, because this is kind of a less of a stream intent and more of a, I'm not sure how to describe it, showing off a brand new thing. So, for those of you who don't know, I've played a lot of collectible card games in my time. And I have my favorites, obviously. But one of the things that I enjoy card games for a variety of reasons: the challenge, the skill, the contest of wills, etc. But one of the things that I do enjoy is playing for the sense of progression, where you grind and you get better and better stuff. So, I introduce you to one of my old-time favorites, Magic the Gathering Shandalar. Or, as I am now actually showing you, something that's been re-envisioned, Magic the Gathering Forge. Magic the Gathering Forge is a fan-made project, as I'm sure you can tell by the giant emblazoned "We are not affiliated" signs all over here, wherein a bunch of users got together and they implemented all the different cards from Magic the Gathering up through the most recent blocks, at least near as I can tell, all the most recent. I mean, maybe there's some that I don't know it. But what's cool about it is they went ahead and didn't stop at just implementing a raw game mode. They actually added an adventure mode. And for those of you familiar with Shandalar from back in the day, this is, I don't want to say a carbon copy, but it's very similar. Now you'll notice the weird menu on the left. This is available both on PC and on cell phone. I'm literally playing this on my cell phone right now, which is I want to do both. I'm going to start by showing you, and then I'm going to load my character. So obviously you can go through basic character creation, get a different kind of character, whatever you're doing. You know what? A red devil would be fun. I'm going to try that. So I'll go red devil, play for standard, and what was the alternative? Constructed chaos. Yeah. So this standard is the format that your deck is in. So yeah, give me a standard red deck. That would be normal. So, for those of you familiar with Magic the Gathering Shandalar, obviously the harder the setting you use, the crappier your starting deck will be. So it generates the rules, according to whatever rules, and for those of you who are curious, please drop a comment. I will happily try and link the latest from this project so you can easily download and get started. But there you are. So in the top left, you see we've got this map. Obviously, my character is this little thing. The controls are really simple to manage. You hold the finger down to get a circle, and then you can drag your finger in any direction, and that's kind of the equivalent of an analog stick, rather than requiring you to tap where you need to go. So you can move all the way up to the right or left, and then effectively use the phone. Colorless, black, blue, white, green, and red. I'm going to start making my way in the direction of red, over red, so once the right side, from the bottom on, you can see there's there's two green blacks, a black blue, a blue green, a multicolored gold card, green reds. There's an instant spell sorcery shop, and I'm not sure what this one stands for. Let's take a look. And that's what each of those signs means. To get a zoomed in view of the card, you just hold down on it, so you can see it very easily. Defender, as long as players Saber Club Golem. Now, the format of the game, near as I can tell, is effectively vintage. You can use any cards you have as part of your deck, as part of your 60-card deck. So this is a golem shop of sorts, and the prices were really. Now, how much cash do I have right now? I don't have very much. If you hit the back arrow, it pulls up the menu, and then you can look at the menu. So let's go status, 250 cash, never won a game, no items except my boots, there's my deck. I can pull up the deck editor to take a look at my deck. Of course, I have nothing to swap it with. It looks like I'm a red-black deck to start. Alright. Let's get into a fight. So, heading in the direction of red and to get fights that help my deck. And there we go. We bumped into a random gobbler, sorry, not gobbler, elf, so this deck is probably going to be, oh, sorry, it's not an alpha turtle. Okay, so this deck probably going to be flipping through some of these cards. Looks like I have to download the images because I'm missing a bunch of images here. Thank you for the heads up. Am I quiet or am I completely inaudible? Okay, so it's playing the game music and not my music. Let me mute that as much as I can. Mute my mic, turn my mic back on. Thank you for the feedback. I can't actually hear what's going on. Perfect, thank you. I've never casted from a cell phone before, so that's part of the dilemma. I could have done the computer version to stream this, and you know what? Going back, I might, but yeah. Is the music still loud, or should I lower it further? I don't mind. Let's drop it all the way down to silence. The sound effects aren't what's important here. What's important is gameplay. Thanks for the heads up. So let's see what I got here. Makeshift munitions. Thriving Moor. Yes, I turned it off. Let me see if 1 pip is too many. Let me know. There is a volume slider in-game, but since I'm using a cell phone, it's probably broadcasting differently. So I got Shock in my opening hand. I've got a lot of black cards, and I only have 1 ability. I'm sorry, I'll drop Thriving Moor here. Thanks, man. So I should have dropped Thriving Moor on turn 1, so that I could not care that it came in untapped. Okay, with this card suspended, remove a time counter from it. Let's take a closer look. So this is what's going into play for its suspend cost. No problem. Anywho, before I go too deep into a game, I guess let me back out of this and pull up my save record so you can see what I'm actually doing lately. But yeah, you can play through a game of Magic like so. You can easily concede. If you win your fight, you get cards. If you lose your fight, you get kicked out to the map screen, and look at the top right, you can see I'm at 9 out of 12 health. Your starting health is reduced for your next fight because you lost the last fight. It also looks like I lost a bit of cash. I was not aware that that's how that played out. But then if you go to a city, you get your health back. So that's all it takes to recover from a sequence of lost fights. Losing fights, therefore, is most important to worry about in dungeons. And there's a series of cities, and ooh, I think I'll get to show off a dungeon. Let's take a look. Alright, so as you can see, this dungeon has a series of walls, 3... It looks like there's some variation on minotaurs guarding a treasure stash. So if I could fight a gauntlet of 3 minotaurs, I would probably be able to take the stash. With this lousy opening deck, it's not going to work. So I'm just going to leave this right now. Alright, before I get too deep in, like I said, let me pull up what the game turns into when you've played for a while. I should tell you guys that I have spent at least 10 hours on this game in the last 2 days, because it is just that addictive and that fun. Edit my deck. There we go. So this is my current deck, and I guess it's not easy to see from here. Let me pull out. It's an elf-based deck that tries to win quickly, since enemies at my stage of the game are still at less than 20 health, like they're closer to 10 to 15, so early rush goes a long way. I've got 24 lands, mostly forests and forest equivalents. I managed to get a copy of the Alpha Block Berserk, which is a really great card to end a game quickly with. You get an ally, you get a creature to 2 damage, then you quickly give it a boost of +2/+2 to make it 4. You throw Berserk on it to double its power to 8 with Trample, and you probably just won against these weaker enemies. Otherwise, if I'm going longer, I'm playing Presence of Good to try and pump out more tokens. I also have 2 Planeswalkers that create token beasts and token beasts. I have Chitterfang Squirrel General that whenever a token is generated creates its own token, and has Forest Walk since I've been spending a fair amount of time fighting green creatures for green loot. And lastly, I have Wolverine Riders, which makes a token each turn, and oh yeah, every time any token comes into the play, boom, I get... Yes! Yes, that's exactly right. This is Shandalar in a nutshell. Except where Shandalar, the Microprose 1997 game that you're referencing, capped out at alpha, beta, and I want to say in the dark, and then it never got made again or updated or anything. This has this has cards all the way up to Eldrazi block. Sorry, not just Eldrazi, way past it. Let's avoid getting hit until I can get to a city and show you guys what's up. Now, I want to point out also, this is a fan project, and it is still very much in development right now. It has not been completed, and I don't know if it ever gets completed. But, alright, so entering the city, right? Let me show you this. This is the random card pull. So, you choose any block that you're interested in, and as you can see, it's got Dominaria Remastered, Game Night 2022, and Warhammer 40k. There was a Warhammer block? That's insanity. So, there's only 2 cards that are here from that block, and they would cost 500 gold for a random pull. But if I go all the way back to the very first block of Magic, Limited Edition Alpha, boom, there it is. There are 275 cards from the Limited Edition Alpha of Magic available, and I can just hit that button, pay 500 gold, and get a random pull. Or I can specify I'm actually looking for a blue card. Well, now there's 43 of them, but they cost $12.50 for a random pull. I want a 0 to 2 cost card. If anyone knows what I'm aiming for, that's 3,125 gold for 1 pull, and if you look at the top corner, that's more than I can afford right now. So, ultimately, the end game of fishing for singles is there. But barring that, you're just going to shops and building up your deck. Alright, I want to get in a fight now. That I can actually, like, be proud of my deck and show you guys. Deck, edit... No, that wasn't what I was going to do. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, inventory. So, apart from the... These are my stats, I'm doing well. Apart from the fighting, much like the Microprose Shandalar game, you have the ability to get equipments and equip them in these slots. So far, I've only found purchasable shoes and the like, and helmets in the shop, the first 3. But I managed to kill a boss that gave me that wand, which gives -2 to my opponents. I also get to start with a 0-2 in play, which, again, nice little opening thing. This is going to be familiar to those of you who play the Microprose game and remember how you could, like, get things that affected your deck. Ooh, that looks like a boss. Let's go for it, guys. So, when you cross an enemy, boom, it catches you, and we're flipped over to the fight. I'll be on the play, please. Rush decks always want to be on the play. I've got some mana. I do not have any 1 or 2 cost minions. This looks like a 2 cost, but it's actually a 5 cost unless you have a second elf. So I can either take it on faith that I'm going to get another elf, or I can mulligan this. I kind of think against a 9 HP opponent, I'm better off mulliganing. But I'm not going to, because I really like playing Planeswalkers. This is where I'm going to come out and say it. I am not playing well, I'm playing for fun, and it definitely will show in 100 little ways. So there's my first missed creature drop. There we go, I got a creature drop now. Now that's an elf, so I'm going to be able to cast this for its 2 cost. And cast this as well. So now my board's ready. If he doesn't start blocking, I start swinging. He threw out a devil. When Forged Devil enters, it deals 1 damage to target creature, and 1 damage to you. Well, that sucks. I lost my death touch. Alright, we're 1 mana short of starting to drop some of these Planeswalkers. Well, there's 1 Planeswalker anyway. Let's drop my creature and swing. And he's already... As you see, this is the beauty of Shandalar, or the Microprose game, I guess, depending on how you know it. The 1997 Magic PC game. since enemies don't always start at 20 HP, these fights can go quicker, and it changes the way you deck build, because, you know, control decks that are ready to give up their first 10 life before they start doing anything really are going to be too slow for this environment. Alright, vigilance is fine. I think I can swing with everything, and oh, if you're going to swing with everything, the bottom right corner alpha strike button, you just hit that and you're done. A lot of little conveniences. I want to be clear, the quality of this project is not there yet. It's very much still a work in progress, and you can tell that. But who cares? It's a labor of love that includes all of the Magic cards we love, and the best collection format, one that encourages you to keep exploring and building. It's just fantastic. Alright, drop a token. I'm not at the point of being able to... Yeah, so we can still Alpha Strike. We have the board. He's going to lose. It's just a matter of how and when. There we go. So when you win, boom, you get a cache of cards. Sometimes you get gold. You flip these over to see your rewards. So there's a pile of cash. The cards you get come from the deck of the opponent. So fighting opponents that have the kind of stuff you want is definitely beneficial to building your deck out. Alternatively, you can always go to a town and sell these cards and make cash, and then use that cash to buy cards from stores. That just looks like a pile of cash. 95 gold. And as you can see, because my thumb is on and I'm just pushing and rolling around, I don't have to keep tapping around to go places. It's convenient. Alright, we're going to have at least 1 or 2 fights before I can reach those treasure chests. What are we fighting? A demon! This looks like a much better opener. I'm short mana. If I can get a second... I would need to get 2 more land drops, so that I would need 1 more land drop to get the Leaf Glider, and then the Leaf Glider can summon the Archdruid, and then we're in good shape. So, all I really need is to get 1 land in these 2 turns, and I'm going second, so yeah, I keep this in for sure. Well, I didn't get it on my first try. What happened on my next one? This ends up being bad. But so far, I haven't missed a drop. Did you just waste a kill target creature on a 1/1 death catch? No problem. There we go. 2 drop. Okay. We need to put down my mana generator. Now I have a 3 mana capacity for each turn. And that should be enough. Whenever you foretell, Dream gets +2/0. Each non-land card in your hand without foretell has foretell. If foretells cost 0 during your turn, you may pay 2 and exile it from your hand face down. Cast it on the later turn for its foretell. Wow, that is complicated. So if I'm reading that right, I definitely think I need to ensure that immediately. Yeah, because it's a mana source, so this gets me up to 5 mana next turn. And there's no reason not to swim right now, because I'm not going to use my reason to swim. Alright, now he has left enough mana on top. So let's see if I can... Fair enough. Let's see what else I can do here. I guess... if I pay to drop the guide, I have 3 elves in play. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. That's enough to drop the Gorgon Flail and equip it. But then I don't have any creature to swing with, so it's kind of irrelevant. So do I just set up this turn? Yeah, I think I just set up this turn. So we'll drop this elf. And then we'll also drop... I think I keep the Gorgon Flail in hand and fill my board with creatures since I'm not expecting to get hit. Because I have okay. And now we're set. We can double Titanic Growth anything that gets through. We can use the defense. I think next turn we win, or turn after at the latest, depending on what he does this turn. Which is Cottage. Didn't do anything because it didn't enter untapped. That's fine. So he has a lot of these exiled cards. I need to understand this mechanic. During your turn, so cast it out on a later turn for its attack cost. So that would suggest to me that he is not able to get those in an instance. So if I just swing with everything I got, that's 4, 8, 12, 16-ish damage. I think I've already won here. I think I want to keep enough mana in reserve to double Titanic Growth, so let's swing before we attempt anything. Alpha Strike. What you blocking? So it looks like he's gonna chump block the Archdruid and let 9 through. Now, that 9 becomes 15, and that should be game. And it is! I love opening all of the stuff. What? What a big, big card. Not knowing every card that's come out in Magic's history is kind of normal, so you end up spending a lot of time looking through cards. And I'll be honest, if you would like Magic the Gathering, this is fun, not miserable. How is it an equipment demon? So, you pay 2 and you get a 3/1. Equipped creature has a base power and toughness 5/5, menace is a black demon. Oh, I see, so it's a 2-mana 3/1 with menace, but you can also pay 4 to put it on a creature as an attachment. And then when it dies, it goes back to being a creature, presumably. That's really cool. Yeah, this is a fun set of black cards. I could potentially be making some kind of black deck in my future. And that's also part of why I really enjoy Shandalar. It's like, because you don't have access to the full card pool, you're using what you have, right? Which is something that high-level Magic never really emulates these days. You can always buy any symbol you want in theory, assuming you have an infinite amount of money and access. Whereas here, part of the gameplay is how that growth happens. Missed a creature drop. Made my creature. I shouldn't have put a swamp down. Swamp Walk might be present. I don't know what my opponent's doing. We're definitely gonna try and rush out Wolverine Raiders, so let's drop any land. Did I miss a land? So land drop, we're at 5, we're 1 short. What's beneficial? I can put out the Wildheart Invoker, or the Token Generator, very easily this turn. The Inclination is the strongest creature I can put out. I'm going to set up the Token Generator. Also, this guy is going to be heavy. We'll likely have some kind of a straight target creature spell. Let's immediately get out. And that's my win condition. If the longer that stays in play, the more he loses. Are you serious? Oh, it's -1/-1. I thought that was a kill shot, and I was like, are you seriously kill shotting a 1/1 token instead of a 4/4 creature? But it's not, it's just a -1. More like suck, not music. I promise you, when you're actually playing the game, it's not even half as bothersome. It's probably literally just the way the recording's working right now. I think we just swing and win here. As much fun as it would be to play around with Garrick and stuff, there's no need. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. There are also achievements that you can earn for, like, Overkill and Hellbent to end with an empty hand and stuff like that. And it's still in development. Like, literally, they're posting new dev builds every couple days. Deity of Scars. Cool. So I've looted the dungeon, and I am quite satisfied to have done so. I could kill the last enemy. I got a Royal Assassin, by the way, one of my favorite cards from Alpha. Alright, well, with this dungeon looted, I don't need to take out the last eyeball. Off I go. And that's the game in a nutshell. I enjoy it thoroughly. I've played it for way longer than I have any business playing it. The fact that it's running on my phone so smoothly and so easily is another vote in its favor. And before I forget, let me do this. Wait, no, classic, please. There is also the classic mode where you can build your own deck out of every card that the game has, design your opponent's decks, play sealed mode, booster drafts, etc. And you can see all of that here. There's the old quest mode, which was entirely menu-driven, rather than being map-driven. I obviously prefer adventure mode, but there you have it. This is a look at all of my achievements, and all the achievements I have yet to win, but will probably get all of eventually. And there was something else I wanted to pull up. Oh yeah, the menu. Let's see if I can find it. Cancel. Deck manager. Cancel that. Nope, I'm not going to be able to find it, guys. I wouldn't even know where to dig for it. But bottom line, they have a really cool system whereby you can choose to download card arts, and the card arts that you download end up being updated as you go, which is fantastic. So that's why when they have placeholders, you can just hit a button and then it'll download all the card arts for you after the fact. But yeah, if there's any interest in this, please let me know in the comments. I will happily put a link to download and shout out to the group that's making this game because it is fantastic. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.